I recently did a podcast with Karen McNeil, who's the author of The Wine Bible. During that podcast, Karen McNeil mentioned that she was a huge fan of Kathy Corison's wines. So during my most recent trip to Napa Valley, I made it a priority to visit Corison, and I'm glad that I did. Kathy Corison is the owner and winemaker at Corison Winery, which she founded way back in 1987. Before that, she was the winemaker for producers such as Chapelet. Corison is known for her commitment to low-intervention winemaking and for crafting elegant, balanced wines with moderate alcohol by volume and substantial balance and freshness. While this style was not in vogue during the late 90s and the better part of the early 2000s, it's definitely a style that resonates with many wine enthusiasts today. And in fact, Corison Winery is probably at the height of its popularity today, despite the fact that it's been around for decades. To achieve this classic style, among other things, Corison harvests its fruit a little bit earlier than most, and also uses only about 50% new French oak for the maturation process. Corison Winery has two primary wines that I'm recommending in this video, the first of which is the Kronos Cabernet Sauvignon. The Kronos Vineyard is an estate vineyard that has old, dry farm vines that were planted in an alluvial fan or bench, which is well suited to the production of high-quality Cabernet Sauvignon, and which were planted way back in 1971. These gnarly old vines produce extremely low yields, but the fruit they do produce creates wines of tremendous complexity. During my visit to Corison, I was able to taste three different vintages of the Kronos Cabernet Sauvignon: 1999, 2013, and 2020. The Kronos Vineyard Cabernet Sauvignon is extremely age-worthy. The 2020 vintage is the one that's the current release, as the 2021 has not quite been released yet, but it is very youthful, although it does show tremendous promise and is definitely one that I would not hesitate to purchase and put away for a number of years. The 2013 is just entering the beginning stages of its drinking window. This was an extremely impressive wine, and one that's already showing extremely well, but which certainly has at least another decade or 15 years or more of life on it. I also had the chance to taste the 1999, and this was from a 750 milliliter bottle, but it still had plenty of life left. This was extraordinarily elegant and a real treat to taste one with this much age on it. This wine is becoming more tightly allocated, and it's a little bit more difficult to source than it used to be. The best way to get it is directly from the winery through their mailing list, and you can also find it at certain restaurants as well. If you're interested in library vintages, the winery does have some large formats of the Kronos Vineyard Cabernet Sauvignon as well. Current releases of this wine will set you back around $240 or so. For about half the price of the Kronos Vineyard Cabernet Sauvignon, you could also enjoy the Corison Napa Valley Cabernet Sauvignon. While this wine does not contain any fruit from the Kronos Vineyard, it does contain some estate fruit from the Corison Sunbasket Vineyard, as well as some other high-quality fruit that Corison has sourced for many years. This wine is also made in a restrained, well-balanced classic style, and is definitely an excellent option if you're looking for a high-quality Napa Cabernet Sauvignon for around $120 a bottle.